And a very good evening all the way from Turkey. This is the Predator Turkey Open. And we've got a very good match on our hands coming up. In the loser round 3, we have Daria Siranchuk from Ukraine taking on Nina Torvund from Norway. It's a race to 5. The discipline for this EuroTour this time is 8 ball. Alternating the break per 2. So 2 breaks each. In the commentary box we have Gethin Davis and myself, Tim de Ruiter. Good evening, Gethin.
Thank you, Tim. Yeah, and very lovely introduction. Daria, well, she was under 19 European champion, and her opponent Nina, she rose to number 5 in the EuroTour rankings, currently now sat at 8, and this is finely poised. Could be a potential barn burner because of the race to 5 format. I'm very excited, Tim. Looks like Daria's got the break from the lag, and she will open us up with her first of her 2 breaks.
Yeah, definitely a good match on our hands, as I mentioned. Nina Torvund has been traveling a lot, has also played in the World Team Championship, so she definitely has been playing, has been putting herself out of there. Also a lot of hayball events, so I'm expecting quite a good level from her. Now, Daria Siranchuk usually travels the EuroTours only, not getting to see her that often. But also I do recall she's definitely made it to last 16 in the quarterfinals in EuroTour events, so definitely should be a good one, as I mentioned. But the opening dry break, Geth, what do we have?
Well, that 9 ball's just hampering her, having a real good look over at the other side of the table. She does have options on the 1 and the red 3. If she decides she wants to go stripes, I think there's a pathway for the 10 into the left side pocket. Looks like she's going stripes, Tim. Just wondering if it's that 2 ball that helped her make that decision.
Well, she does have the option to land in between the 13, 9 and the 11, kind of center table. If she lands perfect on the 11, she could play it in the bottom left. If she gets any angle on the ball, she could get on the 14 to the center. So there's opportunities reaching to this area, but I have to say, a bit too much spin on there. Don't think she's on the 9, so forced into taking the 10.
Yeah, it came right through the gap. Didn't touch a ball, but as you suggested, and from the overhead, no line on the 9. Now, it looks like the 8 ball passes to the bottom left, Tim. If it doesn't have a pocket available down here.
Well, I guess I would probably play this with top right spin. Go 1 rail back to the center of the table. Just gotta make sure to avoid the 13. But either way, she's always guaranteed to be on the 9. And my main worry is the 14 into the right center. So I would like to target this as soon as possible. Now the other option is, and I don't mind this at all, maybe take the 9 and run into the 2 ball. So you can land on the 14 to the top left, but if you skim off the left side of the 2, you're still onto the 11 to the left center or the top left corner, or even the 14 in the right center. And she is waiting quite a bit for that 14, Gath.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's better to go for it sooner rather than later. She's going to be forced to have to come underneath it unless she can drop it right next to the blue 2, but I wouldn't promote that shot. So it's all going to be from the 11 over to the 14. Ooh. Will that 4 hamper her cueing? Looks like she's finished straight on it, so doesn't need to do anything. Well, won't be able to do anything with the cue ball, you feel, Tim. And she's had a check. I don't think it goes in the bottom left corner either.
Oh, she might be. I was going to say, might be able to still play with low left and avoid cueing against the 4 ball, and then still to have the 8 in the center. Well, maybe the 8 does go by the 7, but I would say it's quite a small pocket to be. She has landed almost straight, so she kind of gives me the feeling it does go by the 7, but I'd rather not play this.
Great cueing to pull the cue ball through.
Well, I guess we were wrong from the start, but a beautiful start for the Norwegian, taking the opening rack off Siranchuk's break, and that's already a big bummer for the Ukrainian, because the best thing she can do is tie the score, level the score at 1 on her breaks to give initiative to Nina with her 2 breaks coming up.
Her last one was a dry break, Tim, so she'll be looking to start getting balls into pockets, preferably not the cue ball. But these are short races to 5, and you really need to get off to the best possible start. Nina doing that, answering back from the dry break with a run out.
Well, what's worse than 1 dry break? 2 dry breaks. This is a rough start for Siranchuk. Now let's see. For stripes, definitely the start is the easiest, but then quite some work to get. For example, on the 14, I don't think it goes to the bottom right. The 10 only goes to the bottom right, so probably to get from the 11 in between the 14, 8, and then go from the 9 to the 10. And this start, well, the first 3 balls should be okay. So 12, 13. Needs the ideal angle on the 11 to drop between, well, the 7 and the 14 actually.
Yeah, that 14, well, there may be a little gap past the 7, but it certainly doesn't drop past the 3.
Oh, she kind of kept that easy. I actually thought she was able to use a short rail and come back out to play the 13 in the same corner. This is a bit of an early tester into the side pockets. Not the easiest of shots on the Predator arc table. I gotta say, missed it by quite a bit though. And immediately has left the ideal position for Daria to take the 3 ball, get rid of the 2, and open up the rack, because the 7 goes to the bottom left. Well, the 8 ball is a little bit of a trick, but with the 7
you could
near,
have the, you've got the 3-2 to finish on for that perhaps. She is looking at taking the 3 on now, but 3-2-8 would be my close. I did feel, as you were sort of pointing out, I did like the solids off the break. I didn't know if that cluster of 3 just pushed in that direction.
well, especially with this break, I kind of liked just going backwards from the 8. Ooh. Well, I have a little bit of good news, and that's that that 9 ball doesn't go to the bottom right now. So that's a bit of good news for Siranchuk, but well, she can still play to the short side of this 10 ball.
She may be looking at a line on the 10. Could move the 9.
Very, well, a lot of body movement there. I was going to say a very short stroke, bit of a jabby stroke there. Maybe ran out of time not knowing exactly what kind of pace she was going to play.
The 10 has returned to a similar spot. I don't know if the blue 2 is available to both bottom left and bottom right. That passes the 9. Could she be able to draw back for the 4 here? Well, she may have a look at the 7.
Could, well, I'm wondering, I think it's close, could draw into the 13. Kind of would like to play this in a way to where I know I'm guaranteed a shot on both, but it's gonna make the shot itself a bit more difficult. Well, also, if she had made it, I don't think she would have been on any solid. Now,
No.
one good shot, play the 11 in the side, play just the cue ball softly into the 8, and you land right in between the 10, 13, 14, or the 9. Like, you're right in between of them, so... I mean, I'm not gonna say what can go wrong, but... looks to be quite straight. Well, she's chosen to push the 4. That 10 still does go to the bottom left, I hope, for Nina.
Yeah, it does still look available. I'm just wondering, can she still see the 9? Looks like she can. Oh, it's close. She can play through this as long as she doesn't get too much of the 4, otherwise stun into it. You can see there. The 14 looks very available to the side pocket. Ooh. Now, a trickier 13, Tim.
Well, She will have to put a big stroke on there to even get on the 14 into the long rail and out.
Yeah, that was a tough shot, especially wanting to get position on the 14. Now, clearly the 5 does pass the 7, but it looks like she's going to take the 7 first, then 4, 5.
Oh, well, she didn't look happy, but I mean, it still goes into the side. Why did she look so disappointed? This should be fine, right?
Yeah, I think she was looking to hit that a bit thicker and have a straighter line for the top left. Side pocket it is.
We did see a lot of players struggle with the side pockets, and now you can see how short of a stroke she actually played onto the side. And she does have, well, I'm not going to say too much angle on the 5 ball to hold for the 8 in the bottom right. But in this case, I don't think I will take my chances. I probably go top left spin for the 8 in the same corner where she's playing the 5 ball. To hold the cue ball is scary. Or even straight over. Nicely played. Sometimes players are trying to hold the cue ball. And that's then the reason why they're going to miss that 5 ball.
Important 8-ball Tim, bringing the scoreline back to 1 apiece. You felt that it could just start to run away from Dyer if she hadn't have taken that valuable point, because now it will be Nina Torven's go to break. She will have the next 2 breaks. Just having a look at the scores, there are 3 other losers round 3 matches in the women's event taking place right now. We have Johanna Indelkoffer of Germany. She's leading 4-1 over Özlem Bakici from Turkey. And on the other table 19, Elifna Pekka from Turkey is trailing 3 racks to 0 with Chantal Stadler from Germany. If you want to keep updated with all the scores, because there's men's and women's event and a busy schedule, please do visit epbf.com. You'll get all the live fixtures and results as they're coming in, play by play. So, our first look at Nina Torven's break.
Yeah, it gets the 4 ball in nicely. I would have to say the only option she really has is to go... Well, she does have the 1 ball into the center. Now, not based on where the 8 ball is. I mean, the 8 ball is available either solids or stripes. Do we have any problems at the table? Maybe the 13. Not so available to the bottom left. Or the 12. But then for solids, it would be the same for the 2 ball, I guess. I mean, she has to make a decision, of course. She only has 60 seconds. Maybe cut on the 6 ball also available, I'm not sure.
Popping the cue ball down the table. That looked like it's come up far enough for this stripe into the top left. She got an angle to come over towards the 12. She has, Tim. Now, can she draw into the 2 from this to maybe move the 13 out? I'm not sure, that would be a bit ambitious.
I don't think it's there. Too much angle on. Well, she has the option still, though. I mean, that's the good news.
Possibly
She's
after
right.
potting.
Go ahead.
I was going to say after potting this, maybe the 15 frees up to the top left.
You mean the 13?
Sorry, yes, 13.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
I was
past the
thinking
7. It looks like it may pass the 7.
maybe she could play the 9 from this position, go 2 rails and make a hit. Either on the... oh... Well, it must go to the top left then. Right?
Well,
Right?
if she was playing for the 11, she's run on a bit too much. This may have been her backup shot. I did like your idea, but getting this one out the way should open everything up a little bit more for her, or rather lay it out a bit easier.
Well, back on track. Stop shot on the 9, or what is it? Eeny meeny draw. The 1/10 of a ball, actually. Would be nice if she could draw that back. Just to be slightly straighter. But, I mean... yeah. Well, that. the 8 is so available. I mean, as long as she didn't give herself a huge angle, I cannot see a way this can go wrong, Gav.
Well, before we have time to jinx it, I will just add to that. This will be our first break with balls made off the break and break and run. What a great time for Nina to do this.
Well, obviously, for Nina in the first 2 racks, the only target is to steal as many frames you can, as many racks as you can take from your opponent's break. And also sometimes your opponent is going to be able to take the solids or the stripes, and then you'll have to take a bit more of a risky route to play. You don't really have to do all that on your own break as long as you break a run. I mean, you have the first opportunity, so you can pick your side as well. Bit more cut onto this 8 ball, so gotta stay sharp. Respect any shot that comes up, even when they look simple.
Yeah, good advice. And after Nina taking one of Dyer's 2 breaks, she's broken run now and takes the lead 2-1 and will remain at the table for the second of a set of 2 breaks. We do have the men's losers round 4 on at the same time. Over on our other tables, the matchup between Miszko Fortunski of Poland taking on David Zalman from the Czech Republic. And the other table, table 3, Christian Merva from Slovakia taking on Paul Vilchepardo from France. And again, I mentioned all scores are on EPBF.com. And if you're enjoying Pro Billiard TV and all of these matches, please do like, share and subscribe. Back to Nina's second break, leading 2 racks to 1. I like that break, Tim. Cue ball stopped on a dime.
Yeah, it would be a big difference if she can make actually 2 out of 2 on her break. If you look at the scoreline, that would be 3-1 in a race to 5. And with this alternate break format, it's a big thing. Now,
Yeah,
she's...
combination.
Yeah, the only ball that could be very tricky. Now I'm gonna ask you, what ball from all the stripes would be the most difficult to get to land on, to pocket? Which one would you think?
Well, from here, I would have to say the 12.
Yeah, I also think I would have maybe liked to play the 9 and run the cue ball softly into the 3 or the 12 and always have the 14 or the 10 available.
I would suggest if you can get the 10 out of the way, now is the time to do it. And I wouldn't even object to having that 15 up in the top right as my last ball to take, if that was the route I needed to, because trying to get position back down here for another stripe, maybe a shot too far. The 8 ball is a bit closer.
Well, she's used a lot of spin on that just to make the ball. Not too sure. She had other options. Why did she... She chose to only pocket the ball and take anything difficult from this position. This is rough. I mean, I would only play this with top spin and see wherever the cue ball lands. Probably run into the 6.
Oh, nice line. Nice line, Tim. Can she draw into the long rail from this?
Well, might have to kill the cue ball. But the problem is if you leave yourself too much angle on the 12, cue ball's gonna run into the 3 ball and you're not gonna get on the 15. Or is she playing... No, she's landed almost straight on this 15. Does this still go into the side, the 12? And she's just gonna roll this in and take any cut on the 15? That would be crazy. We would be wrong all over.
I think she's turned it down twice already, so it's not on.
Yeah, this
So
is
now-
rough though.
Yeah. If she can just stun over a smidge to the left. Oh, maybe a little bit more than that needed. Oh, thank you,
I don't think
Mr.
she's on
Cameraman.
there. Well, straight back. It's the only way. I mean, your opponent can play 100,000 safeties from this position. So you might as well try to make it or leave it over a corner somewhere. Give yourself a chance to win. No, she tried to cut it with the inside spin. I just didn't think it would go. She's clearly off. Definitely plays better than she does right now.
I think that earlier shot, she felt she just needed to turn the cue ball over, hence put some side on it to play that 10. And yeah, she's tried doing that again, but caught the 8 on this occasion. And now, ball in hand to Daya. This, an important rack, you feel, to pinch one against the Nina break.
Well, the only thing she's got to guard herself against is to not run the cue ball back and forth. So try to clear up one end of the table, then go to the bottom. Unless you can take away a ball that's not so easy to get on. So I like stopping the 3, make sure you're on the 1, take the 5 to go to the 7, use the 7 to get to the 2 ball and then be close to the 8.
Yeah, good execution. Stayed down on the shot. Draw this onto the long rail. Doesn't mind being pretty straight on this 7. Kept the cue ball off the cushion. Got a bit of angle. Could run around the 8 ball here. Good composure, Tim. Whether she realizes or not, this is a big rack to win against the Nina break. And that brings the scoreline back to 2 apiece. Over on our other stream tables, Misko Fortunski's 4-1 up over the Czech David Zalman. And the other table 3, Christian Merva of Slovakia, just trailing by 1 rack, 3-4 against the Frenchman Paul Villepado. And now Daya returning for her next set of 2 breaks, Tim, and she will not be wanting to give up one of these to Nina. Not had a good result from either of her first 2 breaks. We'll be looking to do something about that here.
Well, also, both ladies lost their first match in the opening round of the event. Nina lost to Rose Vadeux from France, 5-0. And Daria Siranchuk, 5-3 against Monika Zabek from Poland. So, definitely a rough start to the event. Now, I do believe the amount of rounds depends on how many players are actually involved in the event. So after this match, the winner of this match goes on to the loser qualification match. And that match is to get into the last 16. So survive this match, play 1 good next match, and you're just right into the mix again on the way to the title.
Well, another dry break though, Tim, for Daya, and that needs to be sorted out if she really wants to make good tracks through this Euro Tour. Now, Nina at the table, she's had a couple of looks at what goes to this bottom right pocket. If she wants to go solid, she does have the 2 or the 1.
Well, this is ambitious though, Kath, I gotta say.
Yeah,
Not too sure.
I thought the 9 would pass the 12, which it doesn't, as you see from the overhead. And I actually thought she was just looking to push the 6 over to leave that 9. But it's not worked out like that, and I'm not really sure she has a shot here.
Now, I think she was just mainly looking for a hook on the 1. But I probably would have liked to bank the 14 over the bottom right corner, leave a long shot on the 5 for my opponent to begin and say, hey, you know, let's try from this position. Because I'm not sure if Daria has the hook, but this 1 ball is jumpable in case she doesn't like to take on the 4 ball, for example. Or she could do the same thing. Push the 7 to the bottom left. Leave the cue ball to the bottom right. And just wait. Or you just thump the 5 ball in. and surprise us, you know. Just cued it beautifully. I mean, hit it great, but yet it's such a mess. Why would you want to start?
Yeah, I agree. I did like the suggestion of yours to put the 14 down over this bottom right, because where the 7, 6, 3 and 4 are, that would be their easier pocket to go for. If you left your ball covering it, that would have really hampered Daya here. However, she's going on the offense, and this will be a big shot now for her. I mentioned when I was looking at the Euro Tour rankings, Tim, just to get a gauge on if there would have been a favourite for this match. It mentioned Nina was ranked 8th, and Daria's not far behind, ranked 14th. So, not much to pick between these two, in fairness. The scoreline would suggest the same. And, oh, is there a 6-3 on? Don't know if I prefer the cut on the 7.
I'm cutting the 7 all day long. I mean, this combination, it's quite the overcut too. I mean, look at the distance between the 6 and the 3. From the 3 to the corner. They're cutting the ball. And I guess you would like some shape too. Well, she's making all the difficult shots. But she did not prove me wrong on the shape. I mean, it was just so tough. Probably had to stun into the 7 to have something. And this is one of the reasons why I didn't like to start, because now you have made a couple balls. Your opponent gets to the table and now has all the space on the table, all the options available.
Got to bring it onto the short rail here. Got to make this as difficult as possible. That's going to bounce off. Oh, oh. It's cut off the 9 and the 12 by the looks of it. Long 10.
Oh, she could play a stop shot on the 2 ball. On the 12, excuse me. She stops the cue ball on the 12 behind the 9. I mean, you can get ball in hand. You don't even have to take on the long one. Still supposed to make this though. Oh, Nina.
Well, look at where the 10 has rested up, Tim. Flush against the cue ball. That's going to make Daya, who has been cueing beautifully in this match, especially the last rack and this, it's going to give her a difficult challenge.
Well, I'm assuming the 12 ball is on. Could play 12-9, go up table, 10-14, 11. And then the 13-8.
Ooh. Took a little nibble of the 8, Tim, but that's finished perfectly on the 11. May still take the 10. Okay. So 14. Not too big a bounce off the long rail.
Well, top right spin needed.
You have to give it to her, Tim. She's playing very well, and this will be to take another one against Daya's break, the first of her 2 breaks. That will really ask a question of a second break. So far, 3 breaks, 3 dry breaks for the Ukrainian. Ooh. Just stopped up short on the ideal shape for this 8, Tim. Now a little bit more to do.
Yeah, not in. Not in. She is all over the place. Both are actually not bringing out the best of each other. Maybe some friendship. Who knows what's going on? But this rack is quite important with the 2 breaks coming up soon. I mean, this rack can put you at least to the point where your next 2 breaks could close out the match.
Oh. Pace precision. 6 decided to wiggle before it dropped. 7 in the same pocket. Just gently run through for the 4. This for a 3-2 lead, and Daya will stay at the table for the second of her set of breaks. Looks like Nina's just going to take a quick time out. I'm not sure if Daya will join her, but Tim and I will certainly join her for a quick moment, replenish the glasses, and we will be back very shortly for the next chapter in this losers round 3 matchup between Daya Saranchuk and Nina Torvund. And you can have a quick look over the other stream tables. We'll be back with you very shortly. Well, a warm welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2026 Predator Euro Tour. And you join us for this losers third round matchup in the women's event, a race to 5, a place in the losers qualification up for grabs. Daria Saranchuk of Ukraine takes on Nina Torvund, and well, Daria is up to break, taking the second of her set of breaks. She leads 3-2. My name is Gethin Davis, and joining me for the rest of this action, back in the box, Tim de Lauter. Well, Tim, this is difficult to pick between the two.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on between the two of them. I mean, nothing non-sportsmanlike, but I mean, they've just not been performing as well as I'm kind of used to see them do. Now, she has made a ball though, which is a big difference. It means she's now on her way to get on the hill. And actually, I gotta say, could go either way, but I like the stripes a lot. The only stripe I don't like is the 10. But maybe 9, 15, run to the other side of the table. You got 13, 12, 10 into the center. This should be a great run out, right?
Yeah, I like stripes, but I think if she can see this 7, she's even considering the solids. As you said, made a ball. Good spread. And from where I'm looking, I do prefer the stripes as well. And I think if she pots the 12, that 10 may even go into the left side as well.
Well, looks like the 7 goes. Apparently.
Yeah, well. She's picked. Ooh, the 2 stripes up off the bottom half of the table. She's just pushed that 12 into a tricky spot, and I don't think it passes the 2. She got up quite quickly like it did, Tim.
Well, she does still have the opportunity. I really like to take the 10 and draw straight back. And if you catch the 2 ball right, you open the 12 ball back up. You're guaranteed. Oh, she's caught also the 12. Well, she's got another try on the 14. You just gotta chase it. I mean, can't wait till the end.
Well, she has 3 other stripes to use to get into it. Could be the 14 first. How's it looking? Move out the way, please, Daria. Oh, she got close.
Another try?
What sort of angle does she have on that stripe near the top right? Could always be on. That 13 will be there for backup. If you can force something.
Well, the other option is play the 13, give yourself an angle on the 11, or maybe off this 11, play to the short side of the 12, because it might go in the bottom right. If you do not land there, you still have the 13 to play the similar shape. You got 2 chances to get on it. I think it should be okay short.
Boom. Full aggression. I think there was a chance it may have gone in the top left. It won't matter now. 13 goes into one side pocket, the 12 into the other, and then it's all about where do you want to be on that 8 ball.
Ooh.
Wow. Did look like she overcut that, Tim.
Yeah, try to hold the cue ball that much, even though cutting the ball that much. A bit scary, but she should be able to tap this in and just leave the 8 in the center. There it is. So this is to get on the hill. And that means the Norwegian in quite some trouble, as we are in the loser round 3 match. Means that the loser will have to exit the tournament.
Well, taking advantage of the first time she made a ball off the break, Daria Saranchuk wins the second of her 2 breaks in style, and that will bring Nina to the table with a 2-rack deficit. She does have the next 2 breaks, but she's in a bit of a must-win situation now, Tim, with Daria on the hill. And them last 2 breaks, or rather breaks for Daria, really have given her the best of chances to get through at this stage. I will say though, Tim, I think Nina has been definitely getting the better of the breaks. She did have a break and run. So, although both players have been a little bit out of sorts at times, still a good opportunity for Nina here, especially if she can win this one off the break.
Well, she should have actually had 2 breaker runs on her own breaks. So the break definitely has been going her way. Oh, now the cue ball down the drain. Ball in hand, or at least ball. You gotta play from outside the kitchen. Gotta play outside, so won't be able to play the 2. But I think she can literally go anywhere. I mean, if I would probably start with a 13. And then everything else is like near the bottom of the table. Could also go 3, 6, 2. Drop, let's say 2 rails towards the 11. The 5 does go in the left center or in the top left. The 1 and the 7 go to the bottom right. Just the 8 ball to get on if you go for solid. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think if you play stripes, probably you'll have to draw back from the 13 onto the 14. And then later on, make sure you get on the 11 ball.
Yeah, good explanation, Tim. And definitely 2 routes for Daria here. I think she's going to take your first option, which was play the 13. But what a great opportunity. Ball in hand, playing out the kitchen, needing 1 more rack to take this match. Has options. Side pocket, potentially can see the 12 still. Okay, run into the 5. Doesn't seem to have locked up the 15. 15 may need to be the last ball now. She can push through off the 10, take the 12, come back up for the other 2.
Just gotta make sure not to touch the 12. Well, just okay. I mean, if she pushes the 12 a bit more, she would not have any shot to continue. She can still play this with right spin, 2 rails around the 15.
Yeah, I like that. Stun shot on the 9 for the 14 in the top right would be my preferred route here. Leaving that 15 for a stop shot and the 8 in the right center.
Yeah, just gotta keep things together. Can play the 9 and the 14 in the same corner. Just stay smooth. Stay low, don't move. Maybe she did pocket that ball a little bit to the right of the corner, so the cue ball moving over a little more. Still has the option though to play for the bottom side of the 8 or just top spin into the long rail and back out.
Not a bad nudge, Tim.
Yeah, that nudge, I would say, is to seal the deal. Worked out absolutely perfect. And that means Nina Torvund will have to exit the tournament. Siranchuk advances through to the loser qualification match. And down goes the 8. So it is Daria Siranchuk advancing and Nina is out. Winning 5-2. And I gotta say, not the strongest performance, unfortunately, for Team Norway. But hopefully, there's always a next time, right? So, I would like to thank everybody for tuning in at Pro Billiard TV. This is our final match for today. But we will be back tomorrow with plenty more action from the Predator Turkey Open. So, hopefully, we will get to welcome you back. Getten Davis and Tim de Ruiter signing off for now. But we will be back at 10:30 tomorrow morning. Good night.